In the last episode, Hagar bore Ishmael, and years later God renewed his covenant with Abram, changing his name to Abraham. Sarah received a new name and an impossible promise. She would bear a son named Isaac within the year. The covenant was sealed with the sign of circumcision. Now the Lord appears to Abraham again. Abraham is sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day near the great trees of Mamre. He looks up and sees 3 men standing nearby. He hurries from his tent to meet them and bows low to the ground. "If I have found favor in your eyes, my lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed and then go on your way." The visitors agree. Abraham hurries into the tent. "Quick," he tells Sarah, "get 3 seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread." He runs to the herd and selects a choice, tender calf and gives it to a servant, who hurries to prepare it. He brings curds and milk and the prepared calf and sets them before the visitors. While they eat, they ask, "Where is your wife Sarah?" "There, in the tent," Abraham answers. One of them says, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Sarah is listening at the entrance to the tent. She is old, well past the age of childbearing. She laughs to herself and thinks, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, will I now have this pleasure?" The Lord says to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I am old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah is afraid and denies it. "I did not laugh." But he says, "Yes, you did laugh." The visitors rise to leave and look down toward Sodom. Abraham walks along with them to see them on their way. The Lord says, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. The outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great, and their sin so grievous, that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me." The 2 men turn and walk toward Sodom, but Abraham remains standing before the Lord. Abraham approaches him. "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked. Will not the judge of all the earth do right?" The Lord answers, "If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake." Abraham speaks again. "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50? The Lord says, 'If I find 45 there, I will not destroy it.'" Abraham continues, "What if only 40 are found there? I will not do it for the sake of 40. What if only 30 are found there? I will not do it if I find 30 there. What if only 20 are found there? For the sake of 20, I will not destroy it." Finally, Abraham says, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there?" The Lord answers, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it." When the Lord finishes speaking with Abraham, he leaves. Abraham returns home. That evening, 2 angels arrive at Sodom. Lot is sitting in the gateway of the city. He sees them and gets up to meet them, bowing with his face to the ground. "My lords, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." At first they decline, but Lot insists strongly, and they go with him. He prepares a meal for them, and they eat. Before they go to bed, all the men from every part of Sodom, young and old, surround the house. They call to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them." Lot goes outside and shuts the door behind him. "No, my friends, do not do this wicked thing." The men press against Lot and move forward to break down the door. But the angels reach out and pull Lot back inside and shut the door. They strike the men at the door with blindness so they cannot find it. The angels say to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place." The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. Lot goes out and speaks to the men pledged to marry his daughters. "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But they think he is joking. With the coming of dawn, the angels urge Lot, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitates, the angels grasp his hand and the hands of his wife and daughters and lead them safely out of the city, for the Lord is merciful to them. One of them says, "Flee for your lives, do not look back, and do not stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." Lot begs to flee to a small town nearby instead, and it is granted. By the time Lot reaches the town of Zoar, the sun has risen over the land. Then the Lord rains down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. He overthrows those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looks back. She becomes a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham returns to the place where he stood before the Lord. He looks down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he sees dense smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. The cities are gone. The judgment is complete. But God remembered Abraham, and so he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Thank you for listening to this episode about Sodom and Gomorrah. If this retelling of Genesis chapters 18 and 19 stirred something in you, please consider subscribing and sharing this video with others. In the next episode, the long-awaited son will finally be born. But soon after, Abraham will face the most difficult test of his life.